a way of life in this country. And he has started by having corruption in the State House, where he bribes people daily when people can see without even hiding, without even being ashamed. I used to see people bribing policemen, hiding a little bit. You know, they would hide, fold the note. Because bribery is not a good thing, they will hide a little because they are ashamed, because bribery is not a good thing. He called chiefs and assistant chiefs and bribed them with 10,000 each, and cheated them that he'll make them DOs. And the chiefs were just laughing because it's a lie. They know it's not possible because we don't have those number of administrative divisions. So one of the chiefs called me from somewhere, I don't want to say where, they'll hunt him down. And he said, this man is such a liar. He's telling us to go and lie to the people of Kenya that he'll make Kenya Singapore. But what is sad is that he has lied to us, ourselves, before he can go and lie to the people that he will make us DOs. And we know very well that it is not possible, you know. We had him bribe teachers, bribe everybody. This is money that has been stolen because it's not his money. His salary cannot match what he's using to bribe people. You have seen the sale of national assets, you know. The Safaricom, you know, Safaricom. Safaricom was sold to Kenyans in 2007, 25% shares. There was IPO, the initial IPO. Kenyans oversubscribed. They bought everything. I tried to buy, they could only allow me to buy a little. Today, those shares are being sold to a foreign company, Vodacom, at 34 shillings. Kenyans have analyzed the growth of Safaricom, its potential, its outreach, and they are putting that value at almost 70 shillings.
Gachagua, how much is a share as we speak at the NEC of Safaricom?
I am not sure. I'm told it's 30-something or 40-something.
It is 28.
Whatever it is. But you see what you do with a business. You look at its potential. You look at the potential of that business, and you look at its projected growth, so that you know what is the potential value. You know, again, what we are saying, this is a company that is so central in Kenyans' lives. It's the one doing M-Pesa, almost everybody on Safaricom. Why do you want to give it to a foreigner? If this company must be sold, why don't we sell it to Kenyans? Open it to the people of Kenya, let them buy. Why do you want to give a foreign company 55% ownership, majority shareholders of a company that is so central in our lives?
I had that discussion
with
the CS Treasury today.
Why it is being sold?
The CS Treasury today, I had a discussion with him in the studio today.
Yes.
And the shares at the NSC today for Safaricom goes at 28 shillings. So 34 shillings is profit for the government.
But why can't you open it to Kenyans?
And the government went through a process for the past 6 months, going through and analyzing, doing research to understand how much that would be. And today, the money that is held at Safaricom, over 240 billion shillings, that the government says this is money lying idle at the NEC. And we can take that money, inject it into development of the country, that Kenyans move. Because at the end of the day, the Singapore story that President William Ruto speaks about needs this country to march in terms of development. Based off that explanation, why would you oppose the government taking its assets, selling it?
Our constitution makes public participation a must. When you are dealing with anything that belongs to the public. Have they asked the people of Kenya? No. They are trying to ask now. I saw an advertisement because we have complained. Have they asked the people of Kenya? If you look at this company, since inception, they have paid taxes 1.48 trillion. Since inception, they have paid 550 billion in terms of dividends. When you look at the amount of money they pay every year, yeah? What is the wisdom of selling this company? Because it's like saying, because we have no food here in this house, I sell my household items here, and then I buy food. Then after I finish the food, what happens? When you look at the dividends that they pay to the government, when you look at that amount, where will it be coming from?
The dividend that we talk about is around 16 billion annually every year. But even then, when we talk about public participation, there is a process under law, especially because when you talk about matters transaction, there is a process that guides the same. As we speak right now, Kenyans have been asked to go.
A decision has already been made to sell the company.
Kenyans have been given an opportunity to lend their voices on the sale of these shares that we are talking about. The government of Kenya has not decided it is selling. If Kenyans say no, it will not be sold.
My
How
brother,
do you oppose it?
My brother.
Instead,
my
shouldn't
brother,
you be asking Kenyans to participate in this public participation, Mr. Gachagua?
You don't say you are selling this and even the amount before the people of Kenya can tell you to sell. You first say we want to sell. Then when you are given the go-ahead by the people of Kenya to sell, then you start the process. But they have already completed the process, agreed they are selling to who, at how much, then they are coming to the people of Kenya. And then they are coming through Parliament. Parliament is an appendage of William Ruto. You can tell how it will go. There is no public participation. It's an exercise in futility. It's a fait accompli. It is simply formalizing what has already been decided. But the question we are saying, why don't you ask the people of Kenya whether you need to sell Safaricom?
It's what they're asking
when they tell you yes, why don't you give them an opportunity to buy? Why do you want to sell it to a foreign company? Why don't you let the people of Kenya own this company that is so important to their lives? Why do you want it to be owned by a foreigner? But you have already decided whom to sell. How are those negotiations done? Because they are commissions. Because they are people who have an interest. They are people who have gained the money there. What we are saying, if Safaricom must be sold, let the people of Kenya, with their financial challenges they are having, be allowed to buy. I buy for 20,000, another one for 20,000. Then the company remains here. The government will remain with the shares, 35%. The people of Kenya, will own the 15, plus the other 25 we bought the other time. Then the company, 60% is owned by government and the people of Kenya. Why do you want to give 55% majority shareholder to a foreigner? A company that is so instrumental in Kenyan lives. Why?
But you know that Vodacom is part and parcel of Safaricom as we speak today, right?
No. Those are foreigners. And if Kenyans have not said they are not able to buy Safaricom, we were given an opportunity in 2007. We bought. We oversubscribed. In fact, they were allocating. You could not buy what you wanted. They had to allocate. Why can't we give this opportunity to the people of Kenya? If we must sell Safaricom, which I disagree, we need not sell it. The amount of money we are raising from Safaricom is good for our country. And by selling it, we are going to lose revenue. And what will happen, that revenue we used to get from Safaricom, we'll have to overtax Kenyans. Because we must get that money we used to get from Safaricom. It's like selling a cow that you are milking, so much milk and selling and drinking, and then taking it to the butchery, and then get one off so that you build a toilet in your home. Then what happens? How will you get milk? How will your children get milk? It is a ill thought out proposal. It is unnecessary. And it is informed by conflict of interest.
As the process continues, because that is the process that is there, that is recognized under the law, what is your message to Kenyans who are being urged today to go to these venues to give their views on the sale of Safaricom?
Those public participation forums will be micromanaged by Parliament. Kenyans must agitate and Kenyans must go to court. This is the only language William Ruto can understand. We must go to court. That if Safaricom must be sold, Kenyans must be given the first opportunity. Because they have not been given and they have said they are not able to buy. And they have a proven track record that they are able to buy the shares in Safaricom. In 2007, Kenyans were given the opportunity to buy, they oversubscribed. And they could not buy as much as they wanted. So if Kenyans agree that Safaricom need to be sold, we are demanding that the people of Kenya be given the first opportunity to buy Safaricom so that it remains Kenyan, so that government can own some shares and other shares are owned by the people of Kenya.
Let's remain on the question of debt. The country is said to have borrowed all these 12.5 trillion, but that is not seen. If you look at the laws, PFM Act, on how borrowing is done, you only borrow for development. And today, you look at how much we've borrowed vis-a-vis what we see, and we cannot see what 12.5 trillion shillings has done. Therefore, Mr. Gachagua, the odious debt that does exist in the country, first of all, do you believe that there is odious debt? And if that is the case, then should Kenya pay this odious debt?
Unfortunately, the people of Kenya will have to pay that debt because they have been committed by government. And what is sad is that they shall pay for money that is being stolen. The money that is being borrowed is used to bribe them. It is being used to bribe voters. It's being used to bribe chiefs and teachers. It's being used to host people at State House. It's so sad, but the people of Kenya will have to pay. So what we need to do is to make sure we vote out this government so that we stop that borrowing for money for using to steal and using it to bribe people. And that we must do, and that is why most of us we are saying the problem of Kenya cannot be tribalism. The way Ruto wants to say, the problem is that he is stealing. He's borrowing money from other bodies, that money that people of Kenya will pay, and then stealing the same amount of money and bribing them with the money. And then when he gets on top of his vehicle, he says there's no problem in Kenya. The problem of Kenya is tribalism.
What is the position